In this video, we're going to take a look at the calendar app on the iPhone. We're going to start out by taking a look at how we navigate around the calendar app. We're also going to look at how we can add and edit events, the different calendar types that we can add to the calendar app, as well as how we can integrate our reminders from the Reminders app into the calendar app. This is new in iOS 18. Now, if you find this video helpful, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. All right, let's take a look at the calendar app on the iPhone. Let's go over to my iPhone. Now, before we go and open up the calendar app, let's first take a look at the calendar app icon. It's a little unique compared to third-party app calendars. With the app icon, what we can easily do is see the date. So we can see that I'm recording this on Tuesday the 9th. So it's just a nice way to easily see the date, and that is unique to the calendar app. Okay, now let's take a look at navigation, how we get around the calendar app. So I'm going to tap on it to open it up. Now, the first thing is we have multiple views. We have a year view where we can see all of our months, all the 12 months at once. We also have a month view where we can see all of our events. This is what we're looking at right now, all of our events within a specific month. And then we also have a daily view. Let's go and first take a look at our yearly view. To do that, what we need to do is we just need to tap on the year in the upper left-hand corner. I tap on it. And now I can see all of the months for the current year. And then from here, I can also just swipe up and down to go back and forth to view other years. The current month is highlighted in red. So that is our yearly view. Now let's take a look at the monthly view. To do that, we just tap on a month. So I'm going to tap on this month here, our current month. And now I'm looking at the monthly view. So I'm looking at the month of February. Again, I can swipe up and down to go to a different month. And you're going to see what month you're in just by looking in the upper left-hand corner there. Swipe back down, or I should say swipe up to go down, and then you can go into future months. If at any time you want to go back to today, you can tap on today down here in the bottom left-hand corner. So if I swipe up and I want to go back to today, I just tap on this, and when I do, it takes me back to today, which is highlighted in red. So that is our monthly view. Now, with the monthly view, we have a couple of tricks. What we're able to do is expand upon our different events here. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, all we do is we just pinch to zoom in and out. So I'm going to pinch, and you're going to see it compressed it. I can still see what is going on a specific day, but it just kind of shows me a broader view of it. And then if I pinch to expand, what it'll do is it'll give me a little bit more detail. So now I can see that I have two events on the 14th. And then if I pinch to expand again with two fingers, I can actually see what those events are. So basically all I'm doing is just pinching with two fingers. I pinch to squeeze, or I pinch to expand. And then you're able to change the view there. We can do the same thing by just going up to this little icon here, and you're going to see that I have compact, stacked, and details. When I pinch, that's basically switching between those different views. So you can use this menu here, or you can just pinch with two fingers. There is one other view with the monthly view, and that is the list. When I tap on list, what it'll do is it'll give me a list of all of the events for the selected day. So as an example, let's go ahead and go into the list. I tap on it, and then we go over here to list. And now I'm looking at all of the events for the selected day. So now I just tap on a day. Let's go to the 14th, and you're going to see all of the events are going to be down here. Tap on the 14th, there are my different events. So this is a nice way of seeing a monthly view, and then when you tap on a day, you can see what events are on that day. And to switch to a different month, we just swipe up and down. So I'm just swiping up and down here to go to different months. And if we want to go back to today, I tap on today. Now I'm going to bring it back over to my expanded view. That's what I like to do. So I'm going to tap on that, and then we go over here to details. All right, so now we're looking at our month view. We know how to navigate around that. Now let's take a look at a daily view. To do that, what we do is we tap on a specific day. So I tap on the 14th as an example. I'm looking at my daily view. Now we do have a few different views here, but before we take a look at that, we still have the same option. We can pinch to zoom in and out. So right now you're going to see that my hours here are fairly compact. But when I pinch to expand, we can see that it is expanding there. So we can pinch to see more events if we want to, or we can pinch to expand and then see more of a specific event. So it just basically zooms in and out of the day. We also have a couple of different views. You're going to see right now I'm looking at 2 days at a time. So I'm looking at the 14th and the 15th. If I tap on the 10th, it's actually going to show me the 10th and the 11th. And we can see that just by looking at this here. And there's a line that divides them. So this is going to be the 10th events, and this is going to be all of the events on the 11th. So I'm basically looking at this in a 2-day perspective. I can swipe back and forth to go week by week. So I just swipe, and now I'm looking at different weeks there. Now, if you don't want to see 2 events here, maybe you just want to see 1 event. You just want to get rid of that day there. We can do that as well. We go back up to our trusty old view icon here, and when we're looking at our daily view, what we're able to do is change it to a single day. And when I do that, now I'm just looking at a single day. So I'm just looking at the 10th here and all of the events. I tap on the 14th, and again, I can pinch to zoom in and out, but it's only showing me 1 day. If you want to see a list of all of your events, you can do that as well. When you're looking at your daily view here, and you go back up under your icon for changing the view, what you're going to see is list. I tap on that, and it just gives me a list of all of my events. I can swipe up and down to view all of my events. So I can't see a calendar or anything like that. I just get a list of all of my events. This is only available when you're looking at it in a single day or a multi-day. I'm going to go back over to multi-day. That's actually my favorite. And now, if I want to switch back over to month, I tap on month. I want to switch back to annual. I tap on the year. I can see all 12 months. I want to go to a specific month. We'll go with February. I tap on it. And now I'm looking at that. And then again, if I ever want to go back to today, I just tap on today. So that's how we can easily navigate around the calendar app. Now let's take a look at how we can search. Pretty simple to search. Basically, all we do is we just tap on the magnifying glass in the upper right-hand corner, and when I do, I get my search. So let's just go with NMUG. I have some events with NMUG. I can see that I have to teach a class on Saturday, January 8th, or I did teach a class on Saturday, so we can easily search our events. To get back to our calendar, we just tap on cancel, and it goes back. I should have mentioned there, when you show your results from a search, if you tap on it, it will open up that event. All right, let's take a look at events. So we know how to navigate around the calendar. What about events? How do we go and add an event? What are the different options we have? Well, basically, to add an event, all we do is just tap on the plus here. This is one way of doing it. I'll show you another way of doing it shortly. I tap on the plus, and now I can go and add the event. Now, with iOS 18, what we're also able to do is add reminders. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So what we're going to do right now is just focus on events. We're talking about calendar events, not reminders. So we make sure that we have event here selected. And then from here, we can go and add a title and the location. So let's say I want to meet my brother over at Skiles Tavern. This is a pizza tavern that we go to on a regular basis. So I go meet with my brother. Now I type in here the location. So this is at Skiles, so I just type it in there, and you're going to see that it is pulling up Skiles Tavern here. So I tap on that, and it adds it in there. So now I have a location. The beauty of having a location in there is you can set an alert to notify when you need to leave. So I have my location in there. Next thing I do is I set when it is. Is this going to be an all-day event? Nope, actually we're going to meet at about 7:30. So what I'm going to do is tap on the date, and this is going to be on Tuesdays. I meet with my brother on Tuesdays, so I'm just going to go the 25th here. And now I type in a time, so this is at 7:30. And we are usually there till about they close, so I'm just going to go 11 o'clock. And now I have the time in there. Now we do this every week. So what I need to do is I need to repeat this. So I just go to repeat here, and I say every week. Tap on it, and now it's every week. If I wanted to make it every other week, I could do that every 2 weeks, and you can also customize it. So what I'm able to do is say the last Saturday of every month as an example. So you can customize how often or when it repeats. So we're just going to keep it at every week, keep it simple here. The time zone is Detroit. And then if we swipe up here, I can set different alerts, and I can set more than one alert. So right now it's going to alert me when it's time to leave. And then I can also add an alert. Let's say I wanted to have one in the morning. So I just go, well, we'll just go one day before. So now it's going to remind me the day before that I have to meet my brother. And then we can also set what calendar. More on this in a little bit. But the calendar app actually comprises of multiple calendars. Is this a personal calendar? Is this a family calendar? Is this a work calendar? This is where we can set what the event is for. And then if you want to add an attachment and any notes, you can do that as well. So you have a lot of options here with the event. When I'm done, I just tap on Add, and now it just added that. So when we swipe up here, you're going to see that we have it here, and since I set it to repeat weekly, we can also see it as over here. Now let's say we wanted to move this over to Wednesday. An easy way of doing that is using drag and drop. All I do is just take this and drag it over to the day that I want. So I'm going to drag this and move it over to the next day. Now from here, what I'm able to do is set, do I want to do it for this event only? Maybe this is a one-time thing. We can't meet on Tuesday, but we can meet on Wednesday just for this one time. But all the other times I want it to stay on Tuesday. This is where I would use that. This is for this event only. But now let's just say that we wanted to move it to every Wednesday. Well, then what I would do is I would save it for future dates. So then what it'll do, let's go ahead and do that. It's going to keep my past ones on Tuesday. We can't change those. But any future ones are going to be on Wednesday. If you want to edit it, you just tap on it. Then you can go up to Edit here. And then if you want to delete it, you just go down to the very bottom here, and you can delete that event. Now, I mentioned that there's another way of doing this. What you can do is you can actually just go to the day. You don't have to tap on the plus. What I can do is I can go to the 4th for an example. Tap on the 4th, and I can go and add an event. So we don't necessarily have to tap on the plus. When we tap on the calendar, let's go to the 10th, what it will do is it will automatically put in there the date that I tap on. So that's how we can easily add events, as well as edit them, delete them, and even move them. Now let's take a closer look at calendars. The calendar app comprises of different calendars. This can be a little confusing because it's basically the same term. Calendars within the calendar app? Yes, that's basically how it works. So when we go back over to my iPhone here, what you're going to see is calendars down at the bottom. Remember, this is the calendar app. So I have calendars within the calendar app. So what are these calendars? Well, basically the calendars are where you want to categorize your events. So is this for a personal event? Is this just something that I want to see? Is this going to be something that is for my family? Or maybe what I'd like to do is separate work from personal. So I would add a work calendar. And then what we're able to do when we go and edit that or create that event, we can set it to a specific calendar. And then we can also change the color of a calendar. So as an example, let's go and add a work calendar in here. To do that, I go back down to calendars here. And then what we do is we go down to the bottom here. We have add calendar. I tap on that. And then we have a number of options. So you're going to see the first one here is add calendar. This is just a basic calendar. This is going to be only visible to me. It's going to be shared across all my devices because I'm using iCloud to store the calendar, but it's only going to be visible by me. We can also create a family calendar. So if you have a family account with your Apple ID, what you're able to do is create a family calendar. And then any events in that calendar, anyone else that is using that calendar that is under your Apple ID family account, they're going to be able to see that calendar as well. So they can see any events. And then we have another one called subscription. What is this? Well, these are read-only calendars, so you can't make any adjustments to them. And basically what you do is you subscribe to it. So let's pick on the NFL. You want to subscribe. You want to see when all the games are for a specific team. Well, when you go to the NFL, or if you just Google search it, what you're able to do is subscribe to their calendar. And then when you do that, what it's going to do is it's going to add it to your calendar here. And then you're going to be able to see when those teams play. You can't make any changes to it, of course. You're not going to be able to change when a team plays, but you are going to be able to see when that team plays. So those are subscriptions. A good example of that would be holidays. Holidays are a subscription as well. You don't enter the holiday in there. Apple's entering the holiday in there. You're just subscribing to it. So when they go and add a new holiday or remove a holiday or move it, it'll be moved on your iPhone in the calendar app, but you can't do it yourself. They're read-only. So those are the different types of calendars. Basically, we have a personal calendar, only available to you. We have shared calendars where you can share them with others, and then we have subscriptions. So let's go back to my work calendar. I'm going to tap on Add Calendar. We're just going to add a basic calendar. Tap on it, and I type in the name. The next thing here is, do I want to share this? This is going to be a personal account, so I don't want to share this with anyone. But if I did, this is how easy it is to share it with someone. You just tap on Add Person, select that person, and then they're going to be able to see that calendar and even modify it. You're sharing it. It is not read-only. So that's how you can easily share a calendar. Again, we're just going to keep it as personal. And then I can change the color. We'll just keep it as blue. I tap on Done. And now we can see that we have that calendar here. If I want to make any changes to it, I just tap on the little eye here, and then I can make changes to it. So now when I add an event, I tap on the plus to add an event. I can go and name it, do all the normal stuff, but you're going to see that when we go to calendar here, I can select work, and it'll put it in my work calendar. So that's how we work with our different calendars. Now, if you want to hide a calendar, you can do that as well. Again, I go back down to calendars here, and let's say I just wanted to look at my personal events. All I need to do is just unselect all of these. It's a little bit of a pain. This is where third-party calendars make this a little bit easier because you can group these together into sets, but not with the calendar app, at least not with iOS 18, which is what I'm using here. But I am able to deselect them, so you can see that they're deselected here. And now when I tap on Done, I am only seeing my personal calendar. If I want to see other ones, again, I go back down to calendar here, and I can just select them. And now it's going to show me all of those calendars in there. And now we can see we have more calendars there. Now let's take a closer look at accounts, because this can be kind of confusing, so hopefully I'll be able to clear this up. When you create a calendar, what you're able to do, or what you need to do, is you need to add that calendar to an account. In my case, let's go back over to my iPhone. In my case here, all of my calendars are in iCloud. So then when I go to my other devices, I'm able to see all of the events. So this is the account, iCloud. Well, what we're able to do is add more accounts. We could add a Gmail account. We could add a Yahoo account. So how do we do that? Well, basically, we just go over to our Settings app. So I'm going to swipe up. We go to my Settings app here. And then, being that I'm using iOS 18, I have to go to Apps because I have to go to the Calendar settings. So I tap on it. And then we swipe up and we go over here to Calendar. I tap on it. And then you're going to see Accounts, Calendar Accounts. From here, what I'm able to do is add an account. So I tap on that, and I would go and add my Gmail account as an example. Or maybe I add my Yahoo or AOL account, and all those can manage calendars. So what does it look like when you add one? Well, I do have a Gmail account in here, so you're going to see I have Gmail here. Let's tap on that, and you're going to see that Calendars is turned off. So my calendars are not using Gmail at all or Google at all. Well, when I turn this on, I tap on it to turn it on, and we go back over to my Calendar app. You're going to see what I'm able to do is view all of my calendars in Gmail. So now, remember I had one account. I only had the iCloud account. Well, now you're going to see I have Gmail and iCloud. So when I create an event, what I'm able to do, when I go here to Calendar, I'm able to select my Gmail account. So if you use Gmail or another service, you can store all of your events within that calendar or within that account as well. So that's how we manage our different accounts, or how you could add different accounts to the Calendar app. Let's take a look at a few more settings. Since we're in the Settings app, let's take a look at a few more settings here. What we can do is we can turn on and off week numbers if you like to have week numbers in there. We can also set how far back we want it to sync our events. So I have it all events, but what I'm able to do is just sync them for 6 months back. If you don't want to see anything that's older than 6 months, you could do that as well. Keeps the iPhone just a little cleaner, I guess you could say. We also have default alert times and the default duration for our new events. So when I tap on default alert times, when do I want it to alert me by default? Right now, it is not going to alert me by default because I have that turned off. I have to turn alerts on for each event that I add. But if I tap on any one of these, so let's go with the events, I can say, remind me at the time of the event. By default. Of course, you can always override that when you're creating your event. And then we also have duration. So I tap on duration and I can set the default duration for events. We also have our default calendar and location suggestions. So those are a few settings that we have for the Calendar app. Now let's take a look at how we can integrate our reminders within the Calendar app. This was introduced with iOS 18. So if you're using a previous version of iOS, you're not going to be able to do this. But basically, when you create a reminder in the Reminders app and it has a date, what it will do is it will automatically show up in the Calendar app. And we can actually edit and create reminders within the Calendar app as well. The key to making this all work is the reminder has to have a date. So if it's just a generic reminder, let's go to my Reminders app. So I'm going to go to my Reminders app. And when I go and create a new reminder, we'll just call this one test because I'm creative. And if I do not put a date in here, this will not show up in the Calendar app because the calendar relies on dates, of course. So it's not going to show up. But if I do put a date in here, let's tap on this here for the date, and we'll go with today. Now what it's going to do is this is going to show in my Calendar app. So I tap on Add. Because it has a date, when I go to the Calendar app, what you're going to see, let's go ahead and cancel this, and now I'm going to go to today. What you're going to see when I look at this day here is it says test, because that's a reminder. Tap on it, and we can see test. So we can easily integrate reminders within the Calendar app. I can even check this off. If I put a time in there, it would also put it in the appropriate time down here. I just put it for the day. And I can tap on this again to mark it as done, or I can even edit this And you're going to see I have all of the options that I have from the Reminders app. Now we can do the same thing from the Calendar app. Let's say I wanted to add a reminder. So now I'm going to tap on the plus to add an event. But this time what we do is we tap on Reminder. And when I do that, it switches over. So I'm going to call this one Test 2, again, because I'm so creative. Now it has Test 2. And you're going to see it has the date, the time. I can even set what list from the reminders. So let's just go and tap on Add. And we can see it added it. This one actually has a time. And then when we go back over to the Reminders app, what do we see when I tap on Today? There's Test 2. And if I mark it done here, it'll be marked as done on the Calendar app. If you don't want to see those, some people don't want to see those, what you need to do is you need to go over to the Calendar app, and then we go down to our calendars. This is where we can set what calendars we want to view, remember? So when I tap on Calendars, what I'm able to do is set if I want to see my scheduled reminders. If I uncheck that, any reminders from my Reminders app will not show in the Calendar app. So that's how Apple integrated reminders into the Calendar app. So that is how we work with the Calendar app on the iPhone. As you can see, we can create different accounts. We have a lot of different navigation options or different view options. We pinch to zoom in and out. We can also add reminders from our Reminders app, new in iOS 18. If you're just starting out with the Calendar app, what I would recommend doing is just creating one account, probably iCloud, being that it's Apple, and then just start out simple. Just add a couple events in there, and then as you get comfortable with it, what you can do is you can add more calendars. So that's how we work with the Calendar app on the iPhone. Now, if you found this video helpful, what you may want to do is like the video. You can share it with your friends and family. You can subscribe to my channel. You also may want to check out danstutorials.com. Not only do I have more videos, but I also have an AI assistant modeled after an Apple genius, and I host classes and webinars on a regular basis. So how can you help support my site or these videos? Well, it is a membership-based site. So when you become a member, what I do is I take out all of the ads from the videos. You have access to my AI assistant, modeled after an Apple genius, and you have access to my classes and webinars. In addition to that, you're also helping support a small business. It is just me in a corner office of my house. I'm not part of some large organization. So when you become a member, you are directly supporting my efforts in creating these videos. Check out danstutorials.com for more information, and thanks for watching.